The following matchup is presented and played with Hockey Blast Express, a product of PLAAY Games LLC, copyright 2023, all rights reserved. And welcome back to the channel, everybody, as we get set for another day in this project and yet another time frame in this 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens Gauntlet Challenge. And wouldn't you know, these Anaheim Ducks from 2016-17 have stepped up to the plate, or excuse me, have stepped up to face off against the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens. Let's hope things are better in competing hope things will be better as a competition-wise for this time frame. So without any further ado, your adjustments are on screen with the Anaheim Ducks, the 2016-17 Anaheim Ducks as the visitors for Game 1 of this time frame. And the adjustments have been issued a +1 shot save star to John Gibson. So he remains a 4-play save. He will now be a 4-shot save, and he will remain a 2 and a 3 with a dot spec save rating. With that said, your starting goaltender for the Habs will be Michel Larocque, who, as usual, will be 4 to a 5 with a dot, a decided eye dot for the play save, a 2-shot save, and a 3 spec save rating. With that being said, Ducks are ready, Habs are ready. Let's drop the puck and let's get to it with this next time frame. Start the clock. We're going to start things off with a quality check, this time between players 1 and 4. That's Gainey and Josh Manson for skill. Bob Gainey is going to win that easily, as he does have skill, as he moves in on John Gibson, who needs to make a 1, 2, 3, or a 4 to make the save. He does so. As both guys will rotate. As Sammy Vatanen will be your left defenseman in the 4th spot. And we move on to the next segment. A home scoring chance of a 32. It says choice player rolls for rebound goal using shot stars +2. So choice player for the home team rolls for a rebound goal using shot stars +2. So I think we're going to give that chance to Jacques Lemar. He needs to make a 3 or a 4 with a dot to have the puck go into the net. He does so, and the Habs are on the board. It's 1-0, courtesy of Jacques Lemar's rebound goal. And we are going to give out 2 assists on the play. Robinson and Guy Lapointe will be your assist takers for the Jacques Lemar goal, or excuse me, the Jacques Lemar ice-breaking goal to begin this first game of the time frame. We got a quality check, this time between players 1 and 3. That's Kessler and Wilson for power. It looks like Ryan Kessler is going to win that one, as he does have power. So he's going to be moving in on Michel Larocque, who needs to make a 4 or a 5 with a dot to make the stop. He does so. Michel Larocque says, nuh-uh, we're keeping this thing right where it's at, with a score of 1-0 as we move on to the next segment here in this one. A quality chance, this time between players 3 and 2. That's Jarvis and Corey Perry for hits. Neither player has hit, and we move on to the next segment of the game. Visitor scoring chance of a 21. Home goalie must make shot saves, so a 1 or a 2 will do so as Michel Larocque needs to make in order to keep the Ducks from tying the score. He cannot get it. It's a goal, and we're going to see who scored the goal. 9. Second best shot rating. So the best is Ricard Raquel. The second best is going to be Jakob Silverberg. So he's going to score the goal. And 2 assists will be given out on the play. So it will be. We'll go with. We'll go with Raquel and Sammy Vatanen as your assist takers on the Jakob Silverberg game-tying goal here in this one. We continue on here with a 61, a quality check between anybody on the Habs and Nick Ritchie for speed. So they could either tie or they could go for it. So we tie, and they go for it. So we'll give it to Steve Shutt as he has speed. And he moves in on John Gibson, who needs to make a 1, 2, 3, or 4 to make the stop, which he does so to keep this game knotted up at 1 apiece. And Nick Ritchie says, "Thank you for bailing me out, Mr. Gibson." And that'll do it for the first period as we are tied after 20 minutes of play with the score knotted up at 1 apiece. We start the second period with a penalty check between players 5 and 3. That's Nyrop and Antoine Vermette. It looks like both guys had the same penalty rating of 0.5. So no penalty is called. The ref says play on, but if he says if I catch either of you doing it, doing what you guys just did, you're going to the box. Another penalty check, this time between anybody on the Habs and player 4. That is Josh Manson. They could tie or go on the power play. They tie. And they're going to go on the power play. So it looks like we're going to give it to. How about Pete Mahovlich? We will go with Pete Mahovlich. So Josh Manson is going to head off to the box or head off to the sin bin as the Habs go on the power play, as Mahovlich moves in on Gibson, hopefully to make the play save, which he will. John Gibson, what a play to keep this game knotted up at 1 apiece. And we move on to the next segment. Home scoring chance of a 16. Visitor goalie must make a shot save. So John Gibson needs to make a 1, 2, 3, or 4 in order to keep this game tied up. He does so. John Gibson keeps the game right where it's at 1 apiece. And we move on to the next segment. Oh, and we got triple threes. So normally this would be a penalty check between player 3s, but since we rolled triples, it is a critical face-off. So it's going to check the Check each team's best face-off rating. The team with the better face-off rating wins a critical face-off against an immediate 6-star shot against the opposing goalie's spec save rating. If there is a tie between for the best face-off rating, automatically the home team will win. So it looks like Ryan Getzlaf and Jacques Lemar are your centers out there. It looks like Jacques Lemar is going to win that one. He's going to win the critical face-off as he moves in on John Gibson to hopefully put the Habs in front. He needs to make a 2 or a 3 with a dot to make the stop. He can't, and the Habs climb back into the lead courtesy of Jacques Lemar as he puts the puck behind John Gibson and into the net for a 2-1 lead. Let's see how many assists we're going to give out on the play. So 2, it looks like Robinson, and we'll go with, we'll say Robinson and Mario Tremblay are your assist takers on the Jacques Lemar go-ahead goal for now. For now in this one. We got a quality check, so anytime we roll double sixes, we will refer to this red number 3, and we'll re-roll that number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a re-roll. So of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to be looking at 6 is a re-roll. So we're going to be looking at Bob Gainey, who needs to look for a guy that has almost every quality. The guy that's closest is Ryan Getzlaf. Getzlaf needs to be rotated because he was used. So right now, Ryan Kessler would be the guy to challenge him as we're looking for skill. Both guys have skill. And we move on to the next segment in this one. I should say that would end the second period here in this one as the Montreal Canadiens take a 2-1 lead here in this one against the 2016-17 Anaheim Ducks. We go to the third. It's the Habs 2 and the Ducks 1. We got a penalty check between players 5 and 4. That's Nyrop and Vatanen. Both guys have the same penalty rating. So both guys go to the box, and the referee says, I'm sick and tired of this. If you guys do that again, you're going to the box. I say play on, but if you do it again, you're going to the sin bin. We move on to the next segment with a quality check between players 4 and 5. That's Savard and Bieksa for power. Both guys have power, and we rotate both guys here in this one. Quality check, this time between players 5 and 1. That's Robinson and Cogliano for skill. Both guys have skill, and we move on to the next segment of this one. Penalty check between players 2 and 1. That's Cournoyer and Ricard Raquel. Both guys have the same penalty rating of 0. And ref says play on, but if I catch you doing that again, you guys are going to the penalty box. So it's going to be a chippy time frame series here as we head to the empty net mini chart since the game ends on a 1-goal game. If the game ends with a 1-goal margin, we're going to roll this number right here on the empty net mini chart. So keep your eyes on this number here to see if the game will extend or if the game is over. 9. The game is over. Stop the clock. Holy cow. So what a close game that was. Better competing game than the first game the last time out. But the Ducks really are no joke. They're really, the 2016-17 Ducks are no joke. So The Habs are going to take a 1-0 time frame lead in this one by a final score of 2-1. Stay tuned for the Bitty Beer Game 1 game summary presented by your favorite Bitty Beer products. If you choose to drink Bitty Beer, please drink responsibly. It has big taste, bitty price, Bitty Beer. And stay tuned for Game 2 coming up right after this. And welcome back, everybody, for yet another game in this time frame. As you can see, the 76-77 Habs are in front by a 1-0 time frame series lead as they won the last game 2-1. Same netminders in behind the pipes, and the fans here in Anaheim are awaiting their team to hit the ice. And the anthems have been sung as we get set for game 2 of this time frame. Same goalies as last game, Michel Larocque and John Gibson in net. But this time, Michel Larocque will have a 1-shot save star. And that's going to be tough. It will be tough to hopefully win 2 games in a row for the Habs as the Ducks try to tie this time frame series up at 1 game apiece. Without further ado, with 47 minutes and 38 seconds left on the clock, it's time to get the puck drop for game 2 of this time frame. What do you say we get to it? Let's do it. Start the clock. Penalty check right out the bat between 4 and 1. That's Manson and Wilson. Oh, Manson, get your butt into the penalty box as the Habs moving on John Gibson, who needs to make a 1, 2, 3, or 4 to make the stop, which he will. The craftiness of John Gibson kills off a 76-77 Montreal power play opportunity. And we move on to the next segment. We got a quality check, this time between anybody on the Ducks facing off against Doug Jarvis, who has speed, skill, smart, and star. It is close, but we're going to go right across from him with Antoine Vermette. We're looking for smart. Both guys have smart, and we will rotate both players in spot number 3. We got a visitor scoring chance of a 45. Any visitor player with a power play circle star will create a power play goal. Oh, we got 3 guys having the symbol Shot, Lafleur, or Guy Lapointe. I do believe we're going to give that opportunity to pick your poison, man. Let's roll this red die 6 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'll be Guy Lafleur who gets a chance to create the power play goal as he moves in on John Gibson, who needs to make a 1, 2, 3, or 4 to make the save. He does so. So John Gibson has stopped 2 Habs power play opportunities to get on the board as we move on to the next segment, which is a quality check, this time between players 5 and 4. That is Cam Fowler and Guy Lapointe for smart. Both guys have smart, and we move on and that's going to do it for the first period. So no score after 20 minutes of play in game 2 of this time frame as the Ducks, as the 2016-17 Anaheim Ducks look to get on the board here with a time frame victory, with a game 2 victory here. Let's find out as we play along in the second period. Again, a penalty check to begin to begin the second period, we got Bieksa and Tremblay. Oh, both guys have the same penalty rating of 1, so they are going to. So no penalty is called, but the ref is telling them, if I catch you guys doing some hullabaloo in between plays here, you're going to go to the box. Another penalty check, this time between 2 and 5. That's Yvonne Cornoyer and Cam Fowler. Oh, Cam Fowler will go to the box here as Yvonne Cornoyer moves in on John Gibson, who needs to make a 1, 2, 3, or 4 to make the stop. He does so, keeping the game right where it's at. Woo! If the Ducks win this game, no doubt one of the 3 stars of the game is going to go to John Gibson. Quality check, this time between players 3 and 4. That's Getzlaff and Savard for star. Both guys have star, and we move on to the next segment here in this one with so far your score, as you can see, is a big, fat goose egg on both sides of the score sheet. We got a quality check, this time between Vatanen and Bill Nyrop for star. Neither player has star, so that's going to do it for the second period. We're all tied up. We're still all tied up at a big fat goose egg. Someone has to take game 2. The Habs look to extend their time frame lead while the Ducks are trying to get on the board with a time frame game 2 victory. We go to the third with a visitor scoring chance of a 25. Home goalie must make spec save. John Gibson knows how to do spec saves, but he needs to make a 2 or a 3 with a dot to make the stop. Oh, it's 3 with a blank. Yo, man, no, not what Gibson wanted. The Habs will score. Or the goal. No spec save for John Gibson, as he did a little Patrick Waugh Statue of Liberty like of a move, but it wasn't enough as the Habs put it in the back of the net behind Gibson. Let's see how many assists. 2 assists. So it looks like Robinson, or excuse me, it will be I do want to keep Lafleur out there, so we'll go with Robinson and Steve Shutt for the assist takers on the Guy Lapointe. Oh no, excuse me. We have to figure out who scored the goal. So excuse me. The 8 is player with the best shot rating. That is going to go to either Shutt or Lafleur. I think we're going to give the goal to Dot. It's Lafleur. And it will be Lafleur. How many assists? 2, as usual. So Robinson and we'll say Mahovlich. So Guy Lafleur from Larry Robinson and Pete Mahovlich are your stat line for the ice-breaking goal here in the 5th minute of the third period. My goodness, another visitor scoring chance. Home goalie must make a spec save. Can John Gibson redeem himself? He needs a 1, 2, or 3 with a dot. Oh, and Gibson fails again to make another spec save. The Habs go in front 2-0. Let's see who scored the goal. 2. 4th best shot rating. So the best we got out there is Shutt. The second best is Lamar. The third best is a tie between Lapointe and Tremblay. And I think we're going to give it to Bill Nyrop. So Bill Nyrop will score the goal, and it will be 1 assist given out on the play. So I think we're going to keep the triangle out there. So we'll give it to Mario Tremblay. So Nyrop from Tremblay puts it behind John Gibson for a 2-0 lead, and the Ducks are in trouble. You're going down in the time frame, 2-0. Quality check. Okay, so again, referring to this red die 4 here that I've highlighted, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 will seize the quality check opportunity. A 6 will be an automatic reroll. A 1, that is Nick Ritchie. We need skill, hit, and power on the Habs. But we need mainly is skill. So pick your poison. We'll roll this red die again, and we will look at that player. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. 4, that's Guy Lapointe. So Richie and Guy Lapointe for skill. Both of them have skill, and we move on to the next segment in this one. Well, either way, if the Ducks don't win this game, John Gibson will probably get one of the 3 stars of the game for making 2 key huge saves on the power play on the penalty kill for the Ducks. Home scoring chance, come on, Ducks. 22 visitor goalie must make a spec save. So Michel Larocque needs to make a 1, 2, or 3 to make the stop. Otherwise, the Ducks will get on the board. The Ducks are on the board. It's a 2-1 lead for the Habs. Let's see who scored the goal. 11, second best shot rating. So the best out on the ice right now is Patrick Eaves. The second best is going to go to Ryan Kessler. So Ryan Kessler will score the goal. 1 assist will be handed out on the play. And it looks like I do want to keep that power play circle out there with Patrick Eaves. So we're going to give it to Cogliano. So Kessler from Cogliano will be your stat line for that goal. As the Ducks get on the board, it's 2-1 in favor of the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens. We got a quality check, this time between players 3 and 5, Vermette and Robinson for skill. Both guys have skill. And we move on to the next segment in this third period here. We got another quality check between Raquel and Savard for skill. Both guys have skill. Man, oh man, the Ducks' chances of coming back into this one are falling very slim. Another game may go to the empty net mini chart here, unless the Ducks can score in the next segment. They might be. Quality check between Manson and Nyrop for skill. Oh, Nyrop has skill to not go to the empty net mini chart. The Habs need to score here, otherwise, save by Gibson goes to the empty net mini chart. A goal, meaning the game will probably be over with one more portion in this segment. Gibson needs to make a 1, 2, 3, or 4. He can't. The Habs take a 3-1 lead, and that is probably going to be all she wrote for this one, folks. As Bill Nyrop scores the goal, there will be 2 assists on the play, as it will be Schutt and Lamar scoring the assists for Bill Nyrop's goal, and it's a 3-1 lead. 3-1 lead for the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens. Visitor scoring chance. Oh, not what you want to have if you're a Ducks fan. Visitor player in 1 creates a goal with a quality roll of hit or a triangle. Bob Gainey is in 1. He does have hit, and he does not have a triangle, but he does have a hit printed on his card. So he's gonna be moving in on John Gibson, who needs to make a 1, 2, 3, or 4 to make the stop, which he will, and the game is over. Stop the clock. Oh man, John Gibson and the Ducks cannot catch a break here as as game 2 of this time frame will go to the Montreal or to the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens by a final score of 3-1. No doubt in my mind, John Gibson will indeed be getting a one of the 3 stars of the game as he stopped 2 key penalty as he stops 2. The Habs would have been up early 2-0 and this game would have been 5-1. Instead, John Gibson kept it where it's at with a scoreless tie after 1 and a scoreless tie after 2. So no doubt John Gibson in my book deserves one of the 3 stars of the game, but it will go down to see how well the stats guys here at the arena will say about that. But in the meantime, stay tuned for game 3 coming up right after the Biddy Beer game 2 game summary presented by your favorite Biddy Beer products. If you choose to drink Biddy Beer, please drink responsibly. As always, Biddy Beer has big taste at a Biddy price. As always, it's Biddy Beer. And welcome back, everybody, as we get set for Game 3 of this time frame between the 26-17 Anaheim Ducks and the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens. Your starting goaltenders for Game 3 is going to be none other than Jonathan Bernier for the Ducks, and for the Habs, it'll be Ken Dryden, as he was well rested enough again, as the coach decided to start him to give him some reps in for this time frame. You'll only get at least 1 rep in this time frame, as Michel Larocque will take the bulk of the remaining games of however many number of games we can play left in this time frame. With that being said, with 34 minutes and 44 seconds left on the clock, your adjustments have been set, as Jonathan Bernier will have a 5-shot save star. So probably this could be the game the Ducks do get on the board, but we'll find out as we play game 3. With that being said, clock operator, please start the clock. We begin game 3 with a quality check between anybody on the Habs and Josh Manson for hit and power. We're looking for power, so how about we go at it with the guy in front of him? That's Guy Lapointe. So both guys have power, and we move on to the next segment here in game number 3. Another quality check, this time between players 1 and 3. That's Wilson and Getzlaff for skill. Both guys have skill, and we will skiddly daddly do our way onto the next segment in this early on in this one. We got a quality check between players 4 and 2. That's Savard and Patrick Eaves for smart. Both guys have smart, and nothing comes up in that segment as we go to the next segment of this game here, or excuse me, of this third game of this time frame, with another quality check. This time between Shutt and anybody on the Ducks that has almost every quality. Well, Ryan Kessler is the one that's closest, so we're going to go with him. We're looking for speed. Both guys have speed, and we are heading to the intermission, once again deadlocked at a big fat goose egg between the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens and the 2016-17 Anaheim Ducks. Home scoring chance to begin the second period with a 33. Home player in one creates a goal with a quality roll of skill or a triangle. Bob Gainey is in one. He doesn't have a triangle, but he does have skill. So he's going to be moving in on Jonathan Bernier, who needs to make a 1, 2, 3, or a 4 with a dot to make the stop. Oh, and it's a 4 blank. So that means the Habs will score. Bob Gainey with the goal. And let's see, 2 assists. Looks like Robinson and Guy Lapointe are going to be your assist takers on the Bob Gainey ice-breaking goal. For the third straight game, the Habs find a way to break the ice against these Anaheim Ducks. And we continue on here in this 5th minute of the second period with a quality check between Nyrop and Antoine Vermette for power. Both guys have power, and that is going to do it for this first segment of the second period. As the Habs get on the board, it's 1-0 as we head to the 10th minute of the second period. Visitor scoring chance. Come on, Anaheim. Visitor player in 4 creates a goal with a quality roll of speed or a triangle. Oh, that is Sammy Vatanen. Oh, excuse me. I think it's Vatanen. He will create a goal with speed or a triangle. Even though he does not have a triangle, he does have speed, so he can have a chance to tie the game here as he moves in on Ken Dryden, who needs to make a 4 or a 5 with a dot to stop the puck from going behind him to the back of the net, which he will do so. Ken Dryden has been on fire at the early stages of this one. We got a quality check to begin the next segment here between players 5 and 2. That's Robinson and Corey Perry for hits. Oh, Larry Robinson is going to win that one. He does have hits, so he's moving in on Jonathan Bernier, who needs to make a 1, 2, 3, or a 4 with a dot to make the save. Oh, and he can't. And Larry Robinson will score to put the Habs in front 2-0. Robinson will score the goal. And it will be 2 assists on the play. As it looks like I do want to keep the square and the circle out there just in case. At least one of each symbol. So we're going to go with Savard for the first assist and Maury Wilson on the second assist. Robinson from Savard and Wilson is your tally for the goal scoring stat line. As the Habs take a 2-0 lead here in this one. Home scoring chance 33. Home player in 1 creates a goal that Steve Shutt with a quality roll of star or a triangle. He does have a triangle and he does have star. So he moves in on, so with that in mind, he moves in on Jonathan Bernier to hopefully can make the play save here with a 3 or a 4 with a dot. He does. Wow. Just enough to keep the Habs from getting a 3-0 lead here in this one. As we move on to the next segment. We got a quality check between players 1 and 4. That's Gainey and Manson for Smart. Bob Gainey has Smart. Yikes on Manson. Woo! So Gainey's moving in on Jonathan Bernier. Again, a 3 or 4 with a dot to make the save. Which he will. Bernier is standing on his head to make that. Had to stand on his head to make that save. As after 2 periods of play here in Game 3, we have a 2-0 lead for the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens. Visitor scoring chance. Come on, Anaheim, a 35. Visitor player in 2 creates a goal with a quality roll of power or or a triangle. So visitor player in 1 visitor player in 2, I should say, creates a goal opportunity with a quality roll of power or a triangle. Corey Perry is in 2. He has both a triangle and a power and the power quality. So he will move in on Ken Dryden, hopefully to make a 4 or a 5 with a dot to make the save. Which he will. No doubt in my mind, Ken Dryden was going to make the stop on that one. As unfortunately for Corey Perry, he couldn't put it in the back of the net. And we move on to the next segment. This time we got a quality check between players 1 and 3. That's Wilson and Ryan Getzlaf for star. Ryan Getzlaf does have star, so he's moving in on Ken Dryden, who shoots and scores. Ryan Getzlaf will score the goal, and it looks like we will have 2 assists. So the first assist is going to go to Silverberg, and the second assist is going to go to Sammy Vatanen, Sammy Vatanen, or excuse me, I think I said it right, Sammy Vatanen will be your stat line for that goal, as it is 2-1 in favor still of the Montreal Canadiens. Quality check. Okay, keep your eye on this number right here. 1, it is Maury Wilson. We need a guy with speed, skill, speed, skill, and smart. And we're looking for the skill quality to either tie or to have the halves to get a chance at him. The guys with skill are Kasha, Eves, and Kessler. I think we're going to tie with Andre Kasha. Both guys have skill, and we move on to the next segment here in this one. As the clock ticks down. Quality check between Yvonne Cornoyer and Josh Manson for hit. Both guys have hit, and we move on to the next segment in this hockey game right here for game 3 of this time frame. Here we go. Last chance to get on the board for the Ducks to tie things up. We got a quality check between anybody on the halves against Cogliano with speed, skill, and smart to tie and hopefully to go to the empty net minutes chart. Empty net mini chart. We need a guy with power. So the only 3 guys with power that shut LaPointe and Nairov to tie, either way, Andrew Cogliano is going to lose it. We could tie, or the Habs can go for a 3-1 lead. They tie, and they will tie. So Lafleur, Jarvis, it's Lafleur or Jarvis. It's Jarvis, and it will be Jarvis, as both Jarvis and Cogliano will seal up the deal, and we head to the empty net mini chart to see if the game is over. Keep your eye on this number right here. 11. Okay, we roll a die. If lower or equal to leading team squares, the game is over. Otherwise, leading team goalie must make a play save. So we have 2. If this red die here is 1 or a 2, the Ducks, the game is over. A 3 to a 6, and the Ducks have a chance. The Ducks have a chance, and so Ken Dryden needs to make a play save, 1, 2, 3, 4, or a 5 with a dot, and the game is over. The game is over. Stop the clock. Oh man, so close, but yet so far. The Ducks had a chance there to tie the game, hopefully to send this puppy dog into overtime, but it wasn't yet meant to be as Ken Dryden stops uh, the Ducks' opportunity to tie things up here in Game 3, but ultimately they failed, and the Habs hang on for a 2-1 victory to take Game 3 and take a commanding 3-0 time frame series lead. Stay tuned for Game 4 coming up right after the Bitty Beer Game 3 game summary. As always, every game summary in this project is presented by your favorite Bitty Beer products. If you choose to drink Bitty Beer, please drink responsibly. As always, it has big taste, bitty price, Bitty Beer. And welcome back, everybody, as we get set for Game 4 of this time frame. As the Ducks really need to win this game in order for the in order to make this a time frame series again, hopefully to either tie or the Habs will take another time frame and go up in this project of a 3-0-1 time frame record here so far for the 2024-25 National Hockey League season. With that being said, Jonathan Bernier is your starting netminder for the Ducks, and for the Habs, it'll be Michel Larocque back behind the pipes for the Habs. Without further ado, with 22 minutes and 59 seconds left on the clock, let's get right into Game 4. No time wasting. Let's do it. Clock operator, please start the clock. Penalty check to begin this one with a between 5 and 4. That's Bieksa and Lapointe. Oh, yikes. Kevin Bieksa is going to go to the box as Guy Lapointe is going to move in on Jonathan Bernier, who needs to make a 1, 2, 3, or 4 to make the stop. Oh, unbelievable. He can't as the Habs do get on the board early. It's 1-0 in favor of the Habs. Let's see how many assists. 2 assists. Lafleur and Pete Mahavlich will be your assist takers on the Guy Lapointe ice-breaking goal. Here in this one. And we move on to the next portion of this segment. It needs to flip sides here. We got another quality check, this time between Eves and Savard for skill. Both guys have skill, and we move on to the next segment in this one. Home scoring chance of a 42. Any home player with a triangle creates a goal. Oh, you bet we do. We have Kessler, Raquel, and Perry. The best chances to get the Ducks on the board is going to go to Ricard Raquel, who has a 3-shot star rating. So he's moving in on Michel Larocque, hopefully to make a 6, or excuse me, to make a 5 with a blank, or a 6 to score the goal. Oh, and Michel Larocque will put a halt on the Ducks' chances to score the goal there. And we move on to the next segment. We got a visitor scoring chance of a 65. Oh, visitor defense stop. Breakaway chance. Home goalie must make a spec save. Jonathan Bernier is, oh man, Jonathan Bernier needs to make a 1 or a 2 with a dot to do so. He can't. It's a breakaway goal for the Habs. Let's see who scored it. Who scored that one? It's a 10. It's going to go to the second best shot rating. So Steve's shot has the best, followed by Jacques Lemar will be your goal scorer there, and the assists are going to go to it's going to go 2 assists. So Lapointe, and so it'll be Shutt and Lapointe assisting on that breakaway goal by Jacques Lemar, and the Habs are leading this one 2-0. And immediately the coach of the Anaheim Ducks quickly will call an early timeout here to calm things down, hopefully to hopefully get his team on the board here pretty soon, as they have scored so far in this time frame, 1 goal each of the last 3 games here in this time frame. We have a quality check between players 5 and 3. That's Fowler and Jarvis for hit. Neither player has hit, and we move on to the next segment in this one. Home scoring chance of a 61. Any visitor player with a circle prevents a power play goal. Otherwise, it will be a goal. Oh no, Bob Gainey does have the only goal. Does have the only circle, on the Montreal Canadiens. So unfortunately, he stops a power play goal. And from what I'm being told, after 20 minutes of play, the Ducks are probably going to make a goaltending change here as Jonathan Bernier looks like he's not having it. Looks like the coach wants to try to get his team fired up and going, so he pushes he presses John Gibson into duty to hopefully get his team on the board here as we go to the second period as the Habs lead it 2-0. Visitor scoring chance of a 54. I don't know if that's going to help either. Home player in 4 stops a goal with a quality roll of speed or a square. Sammy Vatanen is the player in 4. He does have speed and he does have a triangle. Not a triangle, a square, I should say. So he is going to stop the goal scoring opportunity for the Montreal Canadiens. And we move on to the next segment. Come on, home scoring chance of 41. Home player in 5 creates a goal with a quality roll of power or a triangle. Kevin Bieksa is in 5. He does have power, so he's going to be moving in on Michel Larocque, hopefully to make the stop, which he will. Man, everything in this time frame is not going well for these Anaheim Ducks. Home scoring chance, 63. Oh, home defense stop. Breakaway chance. Visitor goalie must make a play save. They need to have a 5 or a 5 blank or a 6 to score the goal to get on the board. Oh, and it's a 4. What a save by Michel Larocque. Nobody flips. And we move on to the next segment. We have a quality check, this time between players 3 and 4. That's Kessler and Savard for star. Both guys have star, and we will move on to the next one here in this one. That will end the second period, and we move to the final period of play here in this penultimate game, game 4, for these two teams. We got a quality check between Manson and anybody with power. Oh, pick your poison. It's going to be a tie either way, so we'll go with right across from him, Guy Lapointe. Both guys have power. And we will move on to the next segment. The Habs have done everything right up to this point. Oh, we got triple twos. It is a critical face-off. So Vermette and Mahovlich are the only guys out there, and it looks like Antoine Vermette will win that critical face-off for the Ducks. They need to get on the board here. So it's a one. So they need a 5 or they need a 5 blank or a 6 to score the goal. Oh, and Michel Larocque stands on his head. Or no, wait, excuse me, against the spec save rating. I forgot. Yes, against the opposing team spec save rating. So 3, 4, that's a goal. Antoine Vermette will get on the board. My fault. My fault on that. So Antoine Vermette will get the Ducks on the board, and the assists are going to be handed out to Corey Perry and Cam Fowler will score the goal as that duck horn sounds here at the arena here at the Anaheim, or excuse me, at the Honda Center for the Anaheim Ducks. And we move on to the next segment here with a quality check between player number 1 and player number 4. That's Savard. Oh, Mahovlich needs to flip. So again, it's Kasha and Savard for skill. Both players have skill. And we will move on to the next segment here. Visitor scoring chance of a 53. Home player in 3 can stop a goal with stop the Montreal goal opportunity with a quality roll of power or a square. The player in 3 is Ryan Getzlaf. He does not have a square, but however, he does have power. So good job on Getzlaf to keep the score right where it's at of 2-1 in favor of the Montreal Canadiens. Hopefully the final segment here. Penalty check between Kessler and Gainey. Oh, Kessler is going to go to the box with a penalty rating of 1 as Bob Gainey will move in on John Gibson to hopefully he can make a play save, which he won't. He scores. The Habs are going to end up winning another game in this time frame as they take a commanding 4-0 series lead. Let's see how many assists are given out on the goal. 2 assists. So Lapointe and Jacques Lemar will be your assist takers on the Bob Gainey power play goal. As the Ducks' chances of winning this time frame as they see the clock tick down are really running out of time here. Oh, and it's an automatic power play goal for the home team. A 3-6-6, according to the rules. It's an automatic power play goal for the home team here. Let me just double check. It looks like it is no save roll, power play goal. It's an automatic power play goal, and the Ducks are not done yet. Let's see who scored it. 11, second best shot rating. So the second best is Ryan Kessler. Oh, excuse me, not Ryan Kessler. He needs to flop to Vermette. So the second best shot rating is going to go to Cogliano, and the assist takers are going to be 2, Silverberg, and we will say Vatanen. So Cogliano from Silverberg and Sammy Vatanen, and we have got a game here, folks. We may have a game right here, right now, as the Ducks are saying, hold on, we're still fight. As long as we got blood pumping in our little webbed feet, we are good as gold. Oh, visitor scoring chance of a 62. Any home player with a circle. Come on, they need to stop this. Prevents a power play goal, which we have. Josh Manson is the only guy, so he stops a power play goal, and we go to the empty net mini chart as this game ends within a 1-goal margin. So keep your eye on this number right here. 3. All right, roll a die. If lower or equal to triangles, leading team goalie must make a play save. So I assume roll a die on the leading team. Oh, you know what? The Habs don't have a triangle out there, but the Ducks do. 1 or 2 will do it. I think if lower 2 are equal to triangles, leading team must make a play save. Otherwise, the game is over. So it looks like we have 2. We rolled a 4. I'm going to say the game is over. Stop the clock. If I am playing this wrong, please let me know. So again, we will stop it right there with 9 minutes and 7 seconds left. The Ducks came also very close again. This time, they will lose this one again by a score of 3-2. I assume lower or equal to triangles on both teams, which we have two triangles here on Raquel and Eves. I rolled a 4. It's not even close. So the game is over. So I assume this game is over. So with that being said, the Habs go take a commanding 4-games-to-none on a 4-games-to-none time frame series lead, and the Ducks, and it looks like the Habs will be sitting very comfortably as the Ducks will try to do everything they can to win a game in this time frame. They won't win the time frame, but the Habs will go in front ahead of Team NHL in this project with a 3-0-1 time frame record in this project. The Team NHL will fall to a 0-1 and to a 0-3-1. Yes, to an 0-3-1 record, and it is what it is. So with that being said, stay tuned for Game 5 coming up right after the Game 4 Bitty Beer Game Summary. As always, is presented by your favorite Bitty Beer products. If you choose to drink Bitty Beer, please drink responsibly. As always, Bitty Beer has a big taste. It has a bitty price. As always, it is Bitty Beer. And welcome back, everybody. As we have 9 minutes and 7 seconds left on the clock, it looks like this will indeed be the final game of this time frame between the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens and the 2016-17 Anaheim Ducks. As you can see, the Habs will indeed take this time frame no matter what happens in this game, as they go up by a record of 3-0-1 as Team NHL will fall to an 0-3-1 record no matter what happens in this game right here, right now. With 9 minutes and 7 seconds left, the clock will indeed run out, and whenever it reaches 0, we will add on to the time frame for whenever the clock hits 0 until I say stop the clock. I'll be taking a look at the elapsed recording time for this portion of the time frame, and I'll add on those number of minutes and seconds onto this game right here with an additional 9 minutes and 7 seconds already elapsed in the game. So with that being said, we're getting set to drop the puck here at the Forum in Montreal. Let's get to it. Clock operator, please start the clock. We're going to begin with a quality check, this time between players 5 and 2 so it's going to be Nyrop and Eves for speed. Nyrop does have speed, so he's going to move in on John Gibson, who needs to make a 1, 2, 3, or 4 to make the play save. Unbelievable. He can't, and the Montreal Canadiens score early once again of a 1-0 lead here in Game 5 of this time frame. Let's see how many assists. So 1 assist. I do want to keep a square out there and a circle. So I think we're going to go with Maury Wilson. I think we'll go with Maury Wilson. So Nyrop feeds from Wilson. As John Gibson didn't see where that puck went. And we move on to the next portion in this segment. Home scoring chance of not a home scoring chance, sorry. A visitor scoring chance of a 24. It reads, home goalie must make spec save. Michel Larocque is your starting goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens. He needs to make a 1, 2, or 3 to make the stop. 4, 5, or 6, it goes behind him in the back of the net. And it will go behind him. The Ducks tie things up. Let's see who scored the goal. It's a 10. It will be the second best shot rating. Raquel is 1. Eves is 2. So Patrick Eves will score the game-tying goal and 2 assists. We're going to give one to Raquel and the other one to Vatanen. So Eves from Raquel and Sammy Vatanen on that game-tying goal stat line. Penalty check between Jarvis and Kasha. Andre Kasha will go to the box as Doug Jarvis will move in on John Gibson, who needs to make a 1, 2, 3, or 4 to make the stop. Oh my God. He can't. It's a power play goal for Doug Jarvis. Let's see how many assists. Unassisted power play goal for Doug Jarvis. And we move on to the next portion in this segment here. So 3 down, 3 to go. As always, we have a cap limit of 6 goals per segment, and we're still within the first 5 minutes of this period. We have a 5-6-3 equality check between, we got a quality check between players, anybody on the Habs and Antoine Vermette for Smart. We'll go right across from the tie with Pete Mahovlich. Both guys have Smart, and that is going to be it for the first segment of this time frame. Holy, what? Everything was going topsy-turvy here as the Habs take a 2-1 lead going into the second segment of this game with a penalty check between Lamar and anybody on the ice for the Ducks. It looks like the Ducks really want to tie. They tie, and they will tie. So they will go with Getzlaf right across from him as Lamar and Getzlaf tie things up with the penalty checks. And we move on to the next segment. Not a home scoring chance. What am I saying? Visitor scoring chance of a 34. Visitor player in 1 creates a goal with a quality roll of smart or a triangle. So a visitor player, so it will be the visitor player in one. That is Cogliano. He does have smart, so he's going to be moving in on Michel Larocque to hopefully put the Ducks into a tie once again, which he won't. Michel Larocque ties the Michel Larocque will stop the Cogliano attempt, the goal attempt for going into the back of the net, and we move on to the next segment. Quality check this time between Jarvis and Raquel for skill. Both guys have skill, and we move on. And that's going to do it for the first period here at the Forum in Montreal. An eventful first period as the Habs take a 2-1 lead after 20 minutes of play in Game 5. Penalty check to begin the second period here between Savard and Kessler. Oh, Ryan Kessler is going to go to the box as Serge Savard will go on the power as the Habs will go on the power play as Savard will move in on John Gibson, who shoots and score. No, excuse me, he makes the save. So what a key penalty kill save by John Gibson. No doubt he's going to be featured as one of the stars of the time frame, as he was standing on his head. And another penalty check, as I said that, another penalty check comes up between Robinson and anybody on the Ducks. They could either tie or give the Habs on the power play. Again, they tie. And they will tie. We'll give it to Andre Kasha. So Robinson and Kasha will tie as they both have the same penalty rating. And we move on to the next segment here in this one. Quality check, this time between players, anybody on the Habs and Kevin Bieksa for skill. Pick your poison. It looks like Montreal's going to win it. We're going to roll the red die. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. 6 is a reroll. So Steve Shutt will receive the opportunity here. He does have skill. He moves in on Gibson, hopefully to make the stop. 1, 2, 3, or 4 does it. Nope, it's a goal, and the Habs take a 3-1 lead here in Game 5. Hopefully, I believe that goal will seal up the deal for the Ducks. Let's see how many assists. 2. Mahovlich and Lapointe will get the assists on the Steve Shutt goal. Visitor scoring chance of a 22. Home goalie must make shot save. Michel Larocque needs to make a 1 or a 2 to hopefully stop it. Otherwise, the Ducks are within 1 goal. He does. Wow. And we move on to the next segment with a quality check between players 3 and 4. That is Lamar and Manson for star. It looks like Jacques Lamar has star. So he's going to be moving in on Gibson. 1, 2, 3, or 4 will do it. No, it's a 4-1 lead for the Habs as Lamar scores, and 2 assists will be handed down in the play. Will be Savard and Gainey. So Lamar from Savard and Bob Gainey for that one. It might have been tipped in, but who knows what it could have been. So it's a 4-1 lead for the Habs. And we move on in the next portion of this segment. We got a visitor scoring chance of a 52. Home player in 2 stops a goal with a quality roll of speed or a square. Mario Tremblay does not have a square. However, he does have speed, so he will stop the goal chance right then and there. And we go to the intermission with the Habs up 4-1. Oh, and it's an automatic power play goal for the home team. Yikes. Let's see who scored that goal. 6. Player with the best shot rating. Right now, that's looking like Yvonne Kronoyer will score that automatic power play goal, and 2 assists will come on the play. LaPointe and Maury Wilson will score the goal, will score the assists for Yvonne Kronoyer. Warriors goal. And the Habs are running away, are running away with this one. It's 5-1. Visitor scoring chance 64. Visitor defense stop, breakaway chance. Home goalie must make play save. Michelle Larocque needs a 4 or a 5 with a dot to hopefully stop the goal. He does. We move on. Oh, we got a triple threes, a critical face-off. Antoine Vermette, as usual, has a 62. This time facing off against Doug Jarvis of a 60. We have our winner of the critical face-off of Antoine Vermette. This is to bring them within 3 goals. 1, 2, or 3 stops it. It will. So Antoine Vermette wins the critical face-off. Otherwise, nonetheless, Michelle Larocque will save it. And we move on to the next segment. Penalty check between Nairop and Cogliano. Both guys have the same penalty rating of 0.5. The ref's telling them, if I catch you do it again, one of you guys is going to the sin bin. So this is your only warning. We got a quality check to end the game between 2 and 1. That's Lafleur and Raquel for skill. Both guys have skill. And ladies and gentlemen, stop the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, the Montreal Canadiens will win this one by a final score of 5-1 and sweep this time frame, winning their 5th straight time frame, win their 5th straight game, win their 5th game in this time frame, as they win this time frame by a final tally of 5-0. The Ducks had their opportunities but could not capitalize, as the Habs took advantage of those mistakes presented to them by the Anaheim Ducks. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to today's action. Stay tuned for the Game 5 Biddy Beer game summary, as well as as to see who will be next in line to take on the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's time frame matchup between the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens and the 2016-2017 Anaheim Ducks. We look forward to bringing you future time frame matchups throughout the 2024-2025 National Hockey League's regular season, whenever games are being played. Once again, thank you for tuning in to today's time frame between the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens and the 2016-17 Anaheim Ducks. With that being said, it's time for once again to spin the wheel of fate. And of course, the team wheel is always first. So without further ado, let's see who will play the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens next in this Gauntlet Challenge. So please direct your attention to the Bitty Beard Team Selector Wheel presented by your favorite Bitty Beer products. If you choose to drink Bitty Beer, please drink responsibly. Big taste, Bitty price, Bitty Beer. How about it? The 2011-2012 Carolina Hurricanes are next in line to face off against the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens. Now that we know the 2011-2012 the 2011-2012 Carolina Hurricanes will play the 76-77 Habs, it's time to find out between the Hurricanes and the Habs who will begin the time frame as the home team. Please direct your attention to the Doc Cola Home Team Decider Wheel presented by Doc Cola, the official cola drink of the PLAAY Games community and, of course, of the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens Gauntlet Challenge. Oh boy, get ready to rev up that siren because the 2011-2012 Carolina Hurricanes will begin the time frame as the home team coming up tomorrow in this Gauntlet Challenge. And once again, thank you for tuning in to today's action between the 2016-17 Anaheim Ducks and the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens. If you like what you saw, please do consider leaving a like on this video, commenting, and of course, don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notifications bell if you have not done so already, so that way you can be updated whenever a new time frame comes out within this project featuring the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens. With that in mind, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.